What's going on, Madden fans? What you're looking at right now is one of the star players that caused chaos through the entire Madden 20 beta simulation. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only way that Madden 20 will be a bad game is if the developers listen to the random people and take their feedback as if it means anything. And what do I mean by that? All of us have a voice. All of us, I agree, should have the ability to, to put out certain things and to be heard. But some of you guys don't really understand exactly what Madden is. And you don't understand what they're trying to do, and you don't understand why certain things within the game are okay. And then you guys push for change when change is not necessary. Now, let me explain what's going on right now. Madden right now, if they leave, put it like this, if they leave the beta exactly where it is with maybe a few minor tweaks, some of you guys were complaining about the windup, some of you guys are worried about the pass rush, which I think is fine. I think they should leave that alone. That's a primary example of what could change the game, because that pass rush changes the way that a regular player, like a guy that just picks the sticks up, will play, as opposed to a veteran. A veteran is going to know that he needs to make sure that his pass protection is correct. He can't just come out and throw a Stevie. He's going to know that. A novice, a guy that picks it up for the first time, is going to come out and get sacked instantaneously. That's what we've been asking for. But now, the only way that all of that can change is if EA is too proactive listening to what people are saying. Because you got to remember, this is the issue that has happened. EA has created games that have made people that have no business being good at the game be good at the game. So now, because it's changed, those are the people that are going to be very angry about it. They're not going to like that they can't do whatever they want. They can't come out, run around, close their eyes, rip their kneecaps off, and throw an 80-yard pass for a TD. They're not going to like that. So those guys are going to be constantly in the air, constantly in the air. And like I said, some of the players that are actual pro players are some of those people. You know what I'm saying? It's not like everybody is just like a guy that just picks it up. Some people started playing Madden later on when Madden changed for the worse, in my opinion, where they changed the user ability, when they changed a lot of the things that veteran Madden players really liked. There was a time where you would play Madden and you would lose and you would just shake your opponent's hand and just walk away. Now that's different. You know what I'm saying, bro? Dudes are raging over the last 3-4 years. Yo, what? You know what I'm saying? You got dudes like, yo, you mossed me again, it's on. Bruh, that never used to really happen because there were nice adjustments that you could make. They made the game balanced. And then starting with Madden 16, it became hell on earth. To be honest, after the patch, it just became an absolute joke. And I don't feel that they should be listening to every single person. I think that the developers should be able to say to themselves, you know what? They can give all the feedback they want. It's about us creating the best product that we can create. You see what I'm saying? Because put it like this, God of War, PS4, one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I streamed the entire thing for you guys on Twitch. One of the most magnificent games ever. Say they had an open forum and they put out a beta and they, people giving feedback, whatever like that, and they changed any part of that game, that would have ruined all of my experience. And I don't care what anybody says. Everything from the writing to the way they described everything to the Valkyries, everything about the game was unbelievable. But that's what the development team wanted. And that's what EA developers need to do. They need to be able to say, look, I don't care what you're saying, but don't say it like that. Obviously, it's corporate world. Just all right, thank you for your feedback. We'll look into it. Because what happens is a lot of what they've implemented actually made sense. I've never said anything about windup. And at first, when I played it, I was like, yo, why is this guy taking forever to throw the ball? Then I started to think, all right, realistically, the quarterbacks do need time. With the exception of Aaron Rodgers and Dan Marino, I see people have to go through their progression and throw the ball. So I understand that. I also understand that a lot of you guys are like, yeah, but the windup doesn't need to take place if it's a shorter pass. I understand it as well. But everybody has their own motion. So let's say, for instance, right, EA tunes the windup because that's just something that, they're like, a lot of people didn't agree with it, whatever like that. But say they tune the windup, and through tuning the windup, it changes another aspect of the game indirectly, which is what usually has happened with some of the patches. What happens then? It ruins the game. Because unless they have the proper format of just identifying specifically that issue, it changes everything else about the game. And that's what my major issue is. Not having an overall change with the game, but just being able to understand, all right, this is going to happen because this is supposed to happen. And then from there, we go from that situation on, because that makes it a lot easier for everybody else to adjust to it. And then there are no issues. But if you're one of those people that are like, you know what? I don't like that I'm getting sacked every play. And plus, Gmia picked my mom's up at 8, and he told me 806. If you're one of those guys, yeah, I did your mom's, bro, but like, I love her. No, I don't love her. That was a mistake to say that. There's no love involved. I just pick her up, and I do what I got to do to her, and I drop her off. But again, out of that anger, because you don't want to get sacked, someone at EA may listen to that and change something that actually makes sense in the game right now. Because through all of that situation, I was able to successfully ID the mic, block my running back, motion my tight end, and pick up all these mid-blitz guys that were running, because obviously people were running mid-blitz the entire game because man defense is like sort of OP, so dudes were running that on me, and I was eating it, bro. I was eating it up, okay? Now, for a regular player that has no idea what he's doing, he should not be able to eat it up, which is why he's raging in the forums. You could tell who's a bum and who's not by reading the forums. If you have an issue with certain things, like, you know, pretty much, I don't want to say everybody's a bum that has an issue with the pass rush, because I understand sometimes it's extra glitchy, but you have to be able to make those adjustments. You know what I'm saying? The wind-up is another thing. I can understand that as well, because when I first played it, when I turned on the beta and I was in the Pro Bowl, it was kind of wild. I'm like, yo, bro, what's going on? Why is this wind-up so crazy? But then after I went to franchise mode and I played with different quarterbacks, I was able to figure out ways how to get the ball out faster. And then that made the experience a lot better, because it was a lot more realism with it. And the motion, you can see that once you start to generate the throw, it's all in the same exact motion. And that made sense to me. So I was able to adjust to it because I gave it a little bit of time, which is what I don't think that a lot of you guys are doing. You're just immediately jumping on like, bro, what is this? I don't understand. What is going on? Like, for instance, Aaron Donald, right now, you guys, whoever, like, let's just say theoretically you're playing this game and you're the Seattle Seahawks, right? You allowed this guy to sack you 3 times to activate Fearmonger. So you deserve to throw an inaccurate pass because he has that chem to make pressure be there when he's not that close to you. You deserve that. Bro, why are you getting sacked 3 times though? Like, bro, I'll be the first to tell you, I got sacked like 6 times. Bro, dudes are running around with Fearmonger on me all day. But that was the beginning process. And then I understood what I needed to do. I made adjustments. I made sure that they would not be able to do that on a consistent basis to me. That's what I did. So those are the things that I need you guys to understand. With everything that was going on throughout the weekend of the beta, those are certain things that I want you guys to understand and be able to pick up on and just understand the detail of it. If you guys complain about every little thing and don't try to use it for a little bit and understand what they're trying to do, that's what creates them making the game the way that it is and patching things that then affect other things that you probably liked, like the player movement. It's unbelievable. If they, for whatever reason, patch something else and it affects my player movement, I'm gonna be raging. It's as simple as that. Like, it's not like, oh, bro, you know what? I'm gonna give them a pass. I'm raging because you actually did something that made sense. And then now because this guy can't play the game, you go ahead and you do this. And then now all this stuff happens. Now, if they're able to just fine tune, some of the things that, like I said, that was very, very noticeable through the forum consistently, wind up and pass rush, I would leave pass rush alone. The wind-up, I could understand if you tweak it a little bit to make sure that Dan Marino and Aaron Rodgers have faster releases that's a little bit more realistic. I would be fine with that. Anything else, I would have to look at it on a case-by-case basis and then evaluate it. But I would not do much to the game based on the beta. Maybe add refs onto the field. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. Other than that, I don't really care about all the other complaints. And that's what the developers need to do. And once they do that, we deal with whatever it is for that time. And whatever adjustments they want to make, they make it the way that they have with their game plan. That way, the outside influences that don't make sense, they don't have to even worry about trying to figure out which one makes sense and which one doesn't. Because if it doesn't go along their game plan and it visibly doesn't make sense, then it makes sense for them to change something. But as far as everything else that's going on, the pass rush, I think it's fine. I don't think anything should be done to the pass rush, okay? And I love the way that everybody feels different. The quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends, the O-linemen actually block in front of who's there in front of them. I like all that. I'm just fearful that once they start playing around with some of this feedback and adjusting and doing certain things that don't necessarily need to be adjusted, that it's going to change the game and make it Madden 19. That's what my issue is. And that's what I don't want. So for me, I'm gonna vote to let the developers do what they're doing because I think they did a hell of a job right now in making the game the way that it is, and just avoid any other contact with the outside world. Like, bro, just lock yourself in EA headquarters and just keep doing what you're doing. Because I believe right now that this is one of the best games that I've played in the last 4 years when it comes to Madden. Like, share, subscribe. One love.